This series of videos discuss IT security's gaps and opportunities. Security professionals constantly ask, why is this here? Why did I do that? What did I miss? And is there a better way? This is the second video. This video asks, why is it so hard to learn that something has gone wrong? The owners of equipment are usually the last to learn that it has been compromised. The obvious answer is make it easy to disclose issues, abuse, and compromise to the owner. The opportunity is if you improve issue reporting, you will have much better security. We like to keep our failures to ourselves, but this enables more failure. Many of us actively suppress abuse reports and whistleblowers. We fail to reward people who let us know we have made a mistake. We fail to provide easy, obvious, well-monitored pathways to report issues. We can begin to improve by creating and monitoring an abuse at whatever we are email address. We should also have a functional and monitored abuse email on our WHOIS information. But most of the world is also missing critical supporting infrastructure for abuse reports. A decade ago, when I retired, my security team monitored attack. This helped us to better prepare our defenses. We found that the collected information was timely, relevant, and continuously updated. One of our responses to attack was sending out abuse reports to every attacking IP. We included logs and timestamps. In general, we found there were three possible outcomes from sending an abuse report. It sometimes enabled a positive outcome for the owner of the remote device. It sometimes triggered a detectable response from the instigator of the attack. And it sometimes was discarded without any action. Over the years, we found there were important regional differences in handling abuse reports. The Japanese had the best system. They had a single, easily identified point of contact for the whole country. It was monitored 24/7. Every one of our abuse reports was swiftly verified and acted on. It was a joy to watch. Their process improved security for everybody in Japan. The next best was the South Korean, the German, and the Scandinavian responses. When we sent an abuse report to Russia, usually the attacking host would swiftly change IP addresses and continue the attack. But this was 10 years ago. Things might be different now. When we sent an abuse report to China, they would use the information to improve their attacks. But once a year, they would send a very nice thank you note. Again, this was 10 years ago. They might have stopped sending the thank you notes. All the Russian and the Chinese responses were less than optimal. They were still better than the situation in the United States. In America, there was no central coordination, no verification, and almost all attempts at abuse reports were discarded. This cripples American security. Why doesn't the U.S. have a central point to receive, verify, and handle abuse reports? Why doesn't the US government let me know when my computer is compromised by the internet? They spend all that money to monitor the internet. They know, or they could easily find out. Why don't they let me know when I have a problem? Why can't anybody in the world go to a central place and see if there's a verified abuse report for one of their IPs. We didn't stop polio and smallpox by ignoring outbreaks. We need standard epidemiology practices for cybersecurity. We need current, quantified, accessible information on the failure and compromise of IT components and systems. Everybody needs to know. As it is, many of our cybersecurity processes are just superstition and guesswork.